So topic 4, organic chemistry, and the subtopic is the carboxylic acid. So what are carboxylic acid? Carboxylic acid means the compounds which contain this group C double bonded with O and OH, and we call them as acid because they are proton donor, but they are weak acid as they does not ionize completely, ionize partially. That's why we call them as a weak acid. So carboxylic acid, C double bonded with O and OH, and the name should end at oic acid. So if we have like one carbon atom in the structure, one carbon we call meth, single bond between the carbon, not with oxygen, so that is why N, and due to the presence of this whole group, the C double bonded with O and OH, we call that as oic acid, so methanoic acid. Same way, if we have two carbon atoms, C double bonded with O and OH is there, and two carbon atoms, so we call that as eth because of two carbon, single bond between the carbon atom and due to the presence of this C double bonded with O and OH, we call them as oic acid. Same way, if we have three carbon atoms, and this will have three hydrogen, this will have two hydrogen, so we call that as three carbon, we call prop because of three, single bond between the carbon atom and due to the presence of C double bonded with O and OH, it will be oic acid, so it will be propanoic acid. And if four carbon atoms are there and C double bonded with O and OH, this will have two hydrogen, this will have two hydrogen, this will have three hydrogen. So four carbon atoms, it will be but, single bond between them and due to C double bonded with O and OH, it will be oic acid. So methanoic acid, ethanoic acid, propanoic acid, and butanoic acid. So carboxylic acids, the name should end at oic acid because of the presence of C double bonded with O and OH. And why we call them as acid? Because what is the definition of acid? Acids are proton donors in an aqueous solution. So which proton they donate? They have this OH. So this hydrogen will be lost when they dissolve or it dissolve in acid. That's why we call them as acids. When it dissolve in water, it gives out proton. That's why we call them as acid. So carboxylic acid, how we can prepare these carboxylic acid? One is by oxidation. The term oxidation means addition of oxygen. So oxidation of alcohol will give carboxylic acid. And the oxidizing agent which we use is potassium manganate 7. So oxidation of production or formation of carboxylic acid. So how we can form these carboxylic acid? The oxidation of alcohol will produce carboxylic acid. So if we oxidize alcohol, and what is the oxidizing agent? We use potassium manganate 7. That potassium manganate 7, it's an oxidizing agent, and when it is oxidized, it will show a color change. It will turn from purple to colorless. So this is the color change when we use this oxidizing agent. So whenever we have any alcohol like ethanol is there, if it is oxidized, oxidation means addition of oxygen. So ethanol plus oxygen, the oxidation reaction, what it result? This will result in a formation of ethanoic acid plus water will be the product. an oxidizing agent will show a color change from purple to colorless. So any alcohol can be oxidized to carboxylic acid in the presence of this oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent means the substance which help in oxidation. By self it is reduced. So oxidizing agent, ethanol is used here. If we have propanol plus oxygen, this will give propanoic acid. Plus water. So any alcohol can be produced by this way. If you have butanol plus oxygen in the presence of oxidizing agent, this will result in a formation of butanoic acid plus water. If we have pentanol plus oxygen, in the presence of oxidizing agent, it will give pentanoic acid plus water. So alcohols will be oxidized to carboxylic acid in the presence of oxidizing agent. Ethanol give ethanoic acid, propanol give propanoic acid, butanol give butanoic acid, and pentanol give pentanoic acid. So this is how we prepare the carboxylic acids. Then the reactions of the carboxylic acid, it is same as like normal acids. Reactions of carboxylic acid, number one, when it react with metal plus carboxylic acid, when metal plus acid we say, we give salt and hydrogen. So same thing happen, metal plus carboxylic acid, what will be the result? The result will be salt plus hydrogen. The second reaction, metal oxide, which is the base, reacted with carboxylic acid, will give salt plus water. If we have the third reaction, the metal hydroxide plus carboxylic acid, this will give salt plus water. You have to learn these reactions, the products. The third reaction, when metal carbonate, the fourth reaction, the metal carbonate plus carboxylic acid, it will give salt plus water plus carbon dioxide. And the fourth reaction, which we did in the reactions of alcohols, that when alcohol plus acid, the reaction is reversible. This will result in a formation of ester plus water. But this reaction is reversible. Ester and water can also decompose and form back this carboxylic acid and alcohol. So acid plus metal or carboxylic plus metal gives salt and hydrogen. Metal oxide, the base, plus carboxylic acid gives salt and water. Metal hydroxide or alkali plus carboxylic acid gives salt and water. Metal carbonate plus carboxylic acid gives salt, water, and carbon dioxide. And alcohol plus carboxylic acid gives ester and water. This reaction is very important. You have to learn the reaction condition for this reaction as well. So esterification, with this is known as esterification, formation of the ester. So esterification, what happened in esterification? Alcohol mixed with carboxylic acid that give ester plus water, and the reaction is reversible. The reactant can form a product and the product can form back the reactant. So both ways the reaction can proceed. Reactant can form a product can decompose, form back the reactant. The catalyst which we use for this reaction is a sulfuric acid, H2SO4 is a catalyst for this reaction. And as we discussed, the first name of ester is always from carboxylic from alcohol, and the second name is from carboxylic acid. So if I have butanol plus propanoic acid, so butanol plus propanoic acid, what will be the ester? The name of ester, always remember, the first part of the ester is from alcohol, so but, and second part is from acid, prop, N. So how to complete the name? The part which is coming from acid, from alcohol, put YL. So the part which is coming from alcohol, put YL, butyl. And the part which is coming from acid, O8. So it will be butyl propanoate plus water will be the second product. So now name the ester which is formed. These examples, if I say ethanol, plus propanoic acid. What will be the name of ester formed when ethanol react with propanoic acid? What will be the name of ester by reaction of ethanol with propanoic acid? The first part is coming from alcohol and the second part is coming from carboxylic acid. So the first name is from alcohol, so eth, because alcohol, so YL, so ethyl. And the second name is from carboxylic acid, so it will be propane, but because it's a carboxylic acid, so O8, not a propanoate. The ester should end at O8 plus water will be there as a product. Another, if we have butanol plus ethanoic acid, so butanol plus ethanoic acid, what will be the name of ester formed? So what is the name of ester formed if we have butanol and ethanoic acid? The first part of the name is coming from alcohol and the second part is from carboxylic acid. So what will be the name here? Butanol. So what will be the starting name? It will be So but and butyl. That's the first part. So because the first part is coming from alcohol, so that's why it is butyl. The second part is from acid. So butyl, ethanoic acid is there, so it will be eth n, and O8 should be there. Ethane and O8, O-A-T-E. O-A-T-E. Ester, the name should have O-A-T-E. So butyl ethanoate plus water will be there as a product. Another example, if we have propanol plus ethanoic acid. So what will be the name of the ester when propanol plus ethanoic acid? Prop means what? Prop means like propanol means 3 carbon, so it will be prop. And because it's a from alcohol, so it will be YL, propyl. And eth, so it will be ethane O8 plus water will be there as a product. So propanol plus ethanoic acid give propyl ethanoate. So this is how we complete the name of the ester. So from ester name, you should be able to identify alcohol, and from alcohol and carboxylic acid, you should be able to identify name of ester. So the carboxylic acid we can form by, how we can form this carboxylic acid? We can form by oxidation of alcohol, and they react to form an ester. So what are esters? What are the characteristics of these esters? These esters are normally like oily yellow liquid with a good smell, characteristic smell is there, and they are produced by reaction of acid and alcohol. So acid plus alcohol or alcohol plus acid give this salt. Basically this salt is ester, and reverse process is known as, the reverse process is known as hydrolysis, a reverse reaction. So if we have ethanoic acid plus propanol, so it can be like they can write acid first and alcohol last, or they can write alcohol first. But whenever you write the ester, the name of the ester, the first part of the ester is always from alcohol. So it is propanol, that's why it is propyl. And ethanoic acid, so it will give ethanoate. Pentanoic acid plus methanol. So what will be the ester form? The first name is from alcohol, so it is methyl, and the second name is from carboxylic acid, so it is pentanoate. So the part which is coming from alcohol should have YL, and the part which is coming from acid should have O8. So when we compare these alcohols and carboxylic acid, alcohols, their molecules are polar. Polar means like they have charges on them, so it can dissolve. Same as for carboxylic acid, they have a strong attraction between the molecules. The formula, the general formula for alcohol, if we want CnH2n plus 1 OH, that's a general formula. And if we want to find the general for carboxylic acid, CnH2n plus 1 COOH. Mostly alcohol, they are colorless and volatile liquids. Carboxylic acids are weak acid. We can burn alcohol to produce energy and use as a fuel. Carboxylic acid can be formed by oxidation of alcohol, and when alcohol react with carboxylic acid, it will form ester. And carboxylic acids are weak acids, so they have a higher pH compared to strong acids. So you should be able to draw the structure. What about ester? Like you should be able to predict the product form. You should be able to identify the type of ester produced. So if I say draw the structure of, so butyl pentanoate. So butyl pentanoate, it's an ester. If a compound is an ester, it should have C double bonded with O and O. So the first name of ester, it is attached with oxygen. And the second name of ester, it is attached with carbon. So but means 4 carbon and pent means 5 carbon. So 4 carbons are attached with oxygen. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And 5 carbons are attached here with the carbon. So 1 is already there. We don't have to draw that. 1 is already there. Then 2, 3, 4 and 5. And now we put hydrogen. So this will have 2 hydrogen atoms. This will have 2 hydrogen. This will have 2 hydrogen. And this will have 3 hydrogen. And about this one, this will have 2 hydrogen. This will have 2 hydrogen. This will have 2 hydrogen. And this will have 3 hydrogen. So this is the basic structure of ester. So part which is attached with oxygen, name first, and the part which is attached second, we name it. Well, the part which is attached with the carbon, we named it as a second part. So from the name, you should be able to draw the structure, and from the structure, you should name these ester. So the part, again the same way, the part attached with oxygen we name first. And that should have YL, and the part attached with carbon will name second, and that should have O8. So how to name the esters if we have C double bonded with O and O? So the part which is attached with like 2 carbon atoms here and total 3 carbon atoms on the other side. And we put 2 hydrogen, then 3 hydrogen, then put 2 hydrogen and 3 hydrogen. Now the part which is attached with oxygen we name first, and that should have YL. So which part is attached with oxygen directly? This one is there on the right hand side. So 2. So when 2 carbon atoms are there, it means eth. And because it is attached with oxygen, so the name should end at YL. So it is ethyl. Then this is 1, 2, 3 carbon. So 3 carbon means prop. They have a single bond N. And due to this C double bonded with O and O, we call that as O8. So it is ethyl propanoate. So the part attached with oxygen we name first with YL, and the part which is attached with the carbon C double bonded with O, we name it second, and the name should end at O8. So from the structure, you should be able to name the ester, and from the name, you should be able to identify which alcohol and which acid react. So if it is ethyl propanoate, it means ethanol and propanoic acid react to form this ester. Is it clear, this example, how we name these ester?